Hello and welcome back. Today we're back with another Total-Toby part, and if you don't know who Total-Toby is, I'll put a link in the description. Go check it out. Awesome content on CAD and SolidWorks and Onshape and all that sort of good stuff. So this was a part from the tournament that was discussed in the last Monday Live session, and looking at it, I thought of a few really neat tricks that could be used to model it very effectively or very efficiently with only a few features. And in the process, showcase several neat Onshape power moves, I guess I would call them. Things that you might not know you can do and that other CAD systems might not be able to do. So anyway, what makes this part tricky, there's a couple things. First of all, some weird dimensions. So this cylindrical face, cylindrical shape that ends up at a weird angle with a dimension at the midpoint, as well as this internal cavity that's also cylindrical but also ends up at an angle, but a different angle with some weird dimension. So setting that up can be a bit tricky. And there's also this face that it's face of the handle that is the same, blends into the same face as the outer cylindrical face. So all of these kind of interesting to deal with. So anyway, I'm gonna do it in only a few features, and I hope I'll be able to share some tricks, and I hope you'll learn something along the way. So I'm gonna start with a top view. Just create, basically I'll start with these two circles. So the outer 200 millimeters, I'm going to do an offset of 15, which is that thickness. And I'm also going to create the ellipses in here, and you'll see why later. And those are 50 by 25. And I do need to add a point here so I can place a dimension, and that will be 12 and 85/2. And I'm going to mirror that, and mirror line, you can select pretty much anything in Onshape, including one of the planes. And that's it for this top view. And now I'm not going to do anything with that quite yet. I'm going to start another sketch and actually lay out the handle first. So I'm going to go up, down across, down again, and do this little section down there, which is 20, and back up. And I'm going to offset this by 30, because that's the width over here. Oops, would help if I wasn't cutting it off. And make these coincident. And now I still need a couple things. I'm going to use a rectangle to do construction geometry. And this is going to be this 10 millimeter offset and 40 high. And now I need a couple pierce relation between this, and then this guy and this guy. So now it's starting to come along. And what I'm going to do next is create a construction line from, not going to start from the midpoint. I'm going to use basically construction line to define this 40 millimeters and find this point as well. So I'm going to start here, make sure I'm normal to this and vertical with the origin, and make this 40 millimeter. And I'm also going to add, not an arc, but a line perpendicular to this, going, I guess it doesn't matter, I can go all the way up to here. Now I'm going to add a couple dimensions. The overall height, which is this 105, and that 14-degree angle. Now I just need to close this off to be able to finish. And now I could actually do the handle, but since I have almost everything I need, I'm also going to set up this as a layout sketch for the inside face, and it will make sense later. So again, start here, construction line. This is my 70. This is an angle. I want to make sure I'm not picking that up. I don't want to be parallel to this. Then go back down, pick up the relation to this, 90. And again, a couple pierce relations. And then I'm going to do one more line. You'll see later why. And I am going to go from the midpoint. Doesn't really matter where, but I'm going to start at the midpoint, go perpendicular, and drop that here. Now I'm also actually going to add the fillets in here. You don't have to, it's a choice. I just want to do that because there's a bunch of different size ones. So it would take, several fillet features to do these. So I'm just going to throw them in the sketch. And it will also kind of show off how few features you'll end up in the end, compared to doing them as separate features. And I'm including this intentionally because that will show one of the tricks that I was trying to show. So with this, I have all the sketches I need. And I'm actually gonna do the handle first. So this is 40 mid-plane extrusion. I'm gonna show the sketch again, and this is where the magic is gonna start happening. I'm gonna hide the planes because I don't need them. I am going to extrude this area, but Onshape lets you obviously use end conditions, which is pretty standard. But if you pick up to face or several links, you'll notice you have the option of using a mate connector as a reference. And if I click on this, I can mouse over this line, hold shift to make sure that I stay snapped to it, to make it easy to grab the endpoint here. So basically I just want this endpoint here, but the easy way is mouse over line, hold shift, snap to here, and you will see that it creates basically my endpoint and end of extrusion normal to that mate connector on that point, which is pretty cool because it's really easy to do. If all you had to do was put this line in here in the layout sketch, and you can use it directly. And now you're not even done, because Onshape has a second end position, which similar to SolidWorks second direction, except it specifically doesn't say direction. And in fact, you can, by default, it goes the other way from the first one, but you can flip it and have them both go the same way. So you can do the exact same thing, pick up to face, mate connector, mouse over, grab this, and here's all the difficult, weird angle stuff dealt with. And then I just need to show this again, extrude this again, up to face, and I can just pick this. And now you've already got a whole bunch of the geometry ready to go. I'm gonna hit Shift P to hide the sketches. And now the next interesting thing, I need a few fillets. I'm gonna start with these two. And now one thing you can see is this errors out. So, and I know why. It's because I haven't dealt with this yet, and these two little faces are preventing the fillet from rebuilding. So I think in most CAD systems you'd have to cancel out, fix the problem, and then come back and deal with this. Select your parameters again. But I know everything's right, and Onshape actually lets you accept a failing feature. So I'm actually going to do that, because that way I won't have to redo it later, because I know it's correct. I just know what to fix. And I want to add another fillet anyway, so I'm going to go Shift Enter. And I've got my failed fillet, but I'll ignore it for now. I'm going to deal with this end, and use the shortcut for other face. Do my full round fillet. And now I just need to deal with this failing fillet. Actually, one thing I was going to mention is one way you could deal with this if you didn't want to cancel out like this. You can actually duplicate the tab, break it out in a separate window, and you can see now you're also in the same part. And I could say, okay, let's extrude this out, and you can pick the face directly, start an extrude, remove, and go, okay, let's blow this away, accept this, and then reorder this to be before the failing fillet, and you will see now the other window, it's done. But again, this is going to mess up the fillet, so I don't actually want that, so I'm going to undo that and close this, pretend this has never happened. But this can be a helpful technique sometimes, keeping in mind you have two windows of the same part that you can work on at the same time. And that's part of the built-in collaboration in Onshape. Right now it's me opening two windows, but it could be someone else as well. It could be someone sitting at the desk across, or someone sitting halfway across the world, editing the same part at the same time, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I've got my broken fillet that I've accepted, and now the last awesome trick is that, so you can use the extrude to blow away that part, and that works, but the fillet doesn't get fixed, so you'd have to fix that. But if you do a replace face, and replace this face with this, Onshape will actually keep track of your fillet. So the original fillet was between this face and this face, and then now if you say I'm replacing this face with this face, well, it will say, okay, I will make the fillet be between this face and this new face now. So all you have to do is this one replace face, and it's done. And now to fix my broken fillet, I just need to move that above, and boom, we're done. No need to cancel out of the fillet and redo all the selection and everything. So yeah, that's some neat little tricks using, you know, a layout sketch with mate connector for end conditions for extrudes. It can save you quite a bit of time. And then the replace face that maintains the relations, maintains the face IDs internally, basically, or it replaces the face ID so that fillets and other things that depend on it would still work. And if you had, you know, some other features was like up to that face, and you do replace face, it will still work after, because it will replace it wherever it's used, or at least try to, unless there's some weird geometry that doesn't work anymore. And it's actually quite flexible too. You could say, you know, maybe you wanted to also replace this face. You could do that, or you can select multiple things at once, and the slider lets you preview the before and after if you've never used it. And then if you hit final, you even get the whole rebuild, and of course that full round fillet fails here, but that's another little fun trick. Anyway, hope you learned something, and let me know if that was helpful, and catch you next time.